Conspiracy theorist and grifter Alex Jones is continuing to spend money that he doesn't have on his lavish lifestyle instead of paying the Sandy Hook families what they are legally entitled to under a settlement agreement. According to his own financial reports, Jones has been, again, spending a lot of money on things that he shouldn't, paying his wife, Erica Wolf Jones, a total of $15,000 a month. For what? I have no idea. But there's more. In July, Jones spent $7,900 on housekeeping, more than $6,300 for meals and entertainment, not including groceries, which totaled nearly $3,400, or roughly $850 a week. How do you spend that much money on groceries a month? If it's just, I'm assuming, the two, Jones and Erica Wolf Jones. Even if you throw in like a kid or two, that's still pretty difficult to spend $850 a week on groceries. What are you buying? Gold-covered chocolate bacon? And yes, that is actually a thing. That right there doesn't look very appealing, but that is $40 a strip. Now, I don't know if that's what he's buying, but that's an example of apparently what rich people buy. Now, there's more. At Jones's Texas Lake house, which is his second home, he spent nearly $6,700 in that month, including maintenance and property taxes, as well as vehicles and boats. Yes, boats, plural. Cost him another $5,600, including insurance, maintenance, and fuel. His total personal expenses for July topped $93,000. That's right, $93,000, up from nearly $75,000 in April, not including his legal fees and other costs for his court cases, according to bankruptcy filings. That's right, $93,000 in a single month. That is more than what most people make in a year. That's right. That's more than the average middle-class family makes in a year. He blows through in a month. I'm guessing most of you probably, that are watching probably don't make that money that much in a month. And if you do, wow, great, good, cool. Imagine spending that in a month, though. I couldn't imagine. It's unfathomable to me. For me, look, I go to the coffee shop every morning, right? I feel like, whoa, big spender here. I'm living large. I'm getting a latte. Living large. That said, this guy, he thinks that he can afford to do so, but he really can. He owes $1.5 billion in damages to the families of Sandy Hook students who, he defamed on a show multiple times over years. But he's claiming, I'm too broke. I can't afford it. I'm going bankrupt. I'm going bankrupt. Yeah, well, yeah, this is why. Just saying. Probably why. I absolutely do say bullshit to that one as well. Christopher Maddy, a Connecticut lawyer for the families, told HuffPost, quote, "It is disturbing that Alex Jones continues to spend money on excessive household expenditures and his extravagant lifestyle when that money rightfully belongs to the families he spent years tormenting. Families are increasingly concerned and will continue to contest these matters in court." In fact, in an August 29th court filing, the lawyers for the families said that if Jones does not reduce his personal expenses to a quote-unquote reasonable level, they will ask a judge to bar him from further waste of estate assets, appoint a trustee to oversee his spending, or dismiss the bankruptcy case. So, yeah. Whether or not that actually happens, we're going to have to see. But the numbers speak for themselves. Wow. That is just, extravagant spending, to say the least. So, now, as I said, I gave you the numbers. Alex Jones, of course, is going to go on a show. He's going to spin it. And he says, quote, "If anything, I like to go to nice restaurants. That is my deal. I like to go on a couple of nice vacations a year. again, I couldn't imagine. I don't go on any vacations at all, right? And most, again, average people don't. But this guy's like, huh, that's my deal. I like to go just on a couple of nice vacations, and I like to go to some nice restaurants once in a while and spend, almost $10,000 a month on nice restaurants. Jesus Christ. But he says, quote, I think I pretty much have earned that in this fight. Bro, you started this by literally defaming people who lost children, who their children were gunned down, murdered, and you lied about them over and over, called them crisis actors in order for you to make money, because the times that you lied about those families and promoted these conspiracy theories of crisis actors, you got a ton of money in sales from your idiot audience. And by the way, he also on that Tuesday show urged his audience to donate money for his legal expenses. This is such a con. This is such a grift, and it's so incredibly obvious. But not to his fans. I mean, again, how dumb does he think his fans are? Really dumb. And you know what? He's probably right. He's probably right about that. Free Speech Systems continues to rake in cash from the sale of nutritional supplements, like, Dick Force Plus, survival supplies, and other merchandise that Jones hawks on InfoWars, bringing in nearly $2.5 million in revenue in July alone, according to Jones' financial reports, which he signed under penalty of perjury. The company's expenses, for some odd reason, totaled $2.4 million that month. How? Well, part of it includes Jones' $520,000 a year salary, which he is trying to change so he can pay himself an additional $1 million a year, plus incentives, bringing his total compensation to $1.5 million a year. At least. And by the way, I was saying that, that he was making all this money from selling stuff in his InfoWars store. That does not include any other revenues from, like, for example, memberships and things like that. So this guy's making a ton of money. Still. And yet he cries, oh, I'm in debt. Oh, I'm so poor. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, how can you? I can't afford to pay these families at all. As he's eating, like, the best steaks, drinking the best wine, champagne, whatever he wants to drink. Come on. This is he's obviously taking people for a ride. In a very fancy car, by the way, that he's driving and that he owns. But look, here's the thing. His personal spending, if he's as poor as he claims to be, which he's not, if he's in $1 million worth of debt, which he says he is, well, that sounds like a personal problem, man. Sounds like you ought to slim down that budget a little bit. Maybe sell a few assets to pay your bills. It's not like you don't have them. His financials show that he has a home worth $2.6 million, a $2.2 million ranch, a $1.8 million lake house, a $500,000 rental property, and 4 vehicles and 2 boats worth more than $330,000 in total. Maybe you can find one of those things that you could part with. Or maybe more than one. It really does sound like to me that good old Alex Jones here might need a little dose of personal responsibility and a little bit of fiscal restraint. Might do him some good.